The Golden State Warriors. In recent history, they have 5 straight finals appearances, then a season where they were the worst in the league. This year, they are 19 and 18, the 9th seed in the Western Conference. Being in the middle of the conference with the best point guard in the league, do they make a push for the finals, or do they lay back and just play out the rest of the season? Today, I'll be talking about the possibilities for the Warriors to get them into title contention for the second half of the season. Hey everyone, before we get started, I wanted to say thank you for the support on the channel and on these videos. My scripted videos usually perform better than my unscripted videos, so the support will help me keep making these types of videos that take longer to prepare. Also, leave a like and subscribe so I know you want more videos like this in the future. And for the last plug, check out my Instagram at nba.pickup for updates on the channel. Now, onto the video. Before I started writing the script and preparing for this video, this was just going to be trades the Warriors can make to become contenders, but I realized that there are more than just trades that will help the Warriors reach their full potential this season. Before I give out my ideas, I want to say that these moves will not guarantee the Warriors a championship, but could possibly make them contenders. I'll try to keep things realistic for all the teams associated with the trade, because I am a Warriors fan and my bias might come in. If you disagree with me, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So, the first move the Warriors should do is waive Brad Wanamaker. 2021 champs easily. It's just like, this is the entire video. It's just waiving Brad Wanamaker. No, I'm kidding. Although, Brad Wanamaker doesn't do much for us anyways. So, yeah. So, for the first real trade is not ultra realistic, but I've seen this type of trade in the past. Bradley Beal to the Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and the Timberwolves' top 3 protected pick this year. Mulder and Robinson are on the trade to balance the contracts. They aren't too significant. The Wizards have been a lot better lately, 8-3 the last 11 games as of March 4th. With that being said, the Wizards are probably not going to trade their star player, especially with 3 years left on his contract. However, if the Wizards do go on a horrible streak of games in the next 3 weeks right before the trade deadline, maybe the Wizards are willing to trade him for some future assets. The Warriors offered Andrew Wiggins, a 26-year-old who has been great defensively this year, James Wiseman, the raw 19-year-old with gobs of potential, and a Timberwolves pick this year. Wiggins can be solid for the Wizards, giving them a scorer to replace Beal. James Wiseman has shown flashes of what he can be. He's similar to Giannis in which he's a tall, lengthy player that can handle the ball and play great defense. The top 3 protected Timberwolves picks so far is tied with being the highest odds for the number 1 pick. It has a 40% chance in being the top 3, which means the pick goes back to the Timberwolves. If this does happen, then the Wizards get the 2022 Timberwolves pick unprotected. There is a 60% chance the pick will be the 4th or 5th pick which the Wizards will get. This year's draft class has been projected to be loaded, giving the Wizards a chance to draft a future franchise player. For the Warriors, Beal is averaging a league-high 32.9 points on 48% from the field and 33.5% from 3. Beal can give the Warriors a desperately needed shot creator next to Steph and a threat from 3. He can score on all 3 levels at an elite level, showing his pure scoring ability at the shooting guard position. Beal will put the Warriors in contention for the championship and arguably the best starting backcourt in the league. If the Warriors do this trade, they will only have Kevon Looney at the center position, which will lead me to my next move. The Warriors will have 1 new roster spot open to work with, and they should sign a center. Possible center options are Dwayne Dedmon, DeMarcus Cousins, and John Henson. I'm guessing that these are all guys who are willing to take a veteran's minimum deal. Dwayne Dedmon is a solid 7-footer who puts up 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks a game in a 10-game stretch with the Hawks before being out of the league in the 2021 season. He's also been getting better at stretching the floor, being able to hit the 3 at hopefully a league average rate on 2 attempts per game. DeMarcus Cousins probably won't sign with the Warriors, given he already had an experience here in the Bay and didn't end in a positive note. He wants a starting role, which probably means he wants the ball a lot, but the Warriors probably won't be able to offer him that kind of role on the team. Nonetheless, he is definitely the best center in free agency right now, with a little bit left in the tank. John Henson is the next player the Warriors can sign. Before the season hiatus in 2020, Henson averaged 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block in 17 minutes for the Pistons. He is solid, can kind of stretch the floor, and rebounds the ball pretty well. The next trade I have in mind is Porzingis to the Warriors. Kristaps Porzingis is having a down year this season and playing with little to no aggression. Despite his lack of physicality down low in the post, I think he can be a key contributor to the Warriors. The Mavericks have opened up publicly that they are willing to trade Porzingis, which probably means his value on the market has gone down. The trade is pretty simple, a Porzingis and Wiggins swap with the Timberwolves' second-round pick this year. If you're looking at this trade and think I'm biased and out of my mind, the Warriors can throw in a guy like Looney or Pascal to make it work out. Initially, I wanted to trade Oubre to the Mavericks first because Oubre is on an expiring deal, which means the Mavs could go into free agency this offseason with a lot of cap space, including enough room for one max deal and maybe enough money for another solid role player. However, the money didn't work out because the Warriors don't have enough cap room and no trade exceptions. The Mavericks lack wing depth, especially at the small forward position. Wiggins will fill that hole for them and provide scoring on the wings and play great defense for a team that needs it desperately. The Mavericks are 23rd in defensive rating as a team, and Wiggins is 12th in individual defensive rating for his position. The second round pick is going to be early, being around the 31st to 34th pick this year. The Warriors will receive Kristaps Porzingis, the Latvian big that is a jack of all trades. Like I said earlier, Porzingis has struggled this year being aggressive and being the paint beast he used to be because of his recent injuries. I think he can still be effective for the Warriors, spacing the floor and being some kind of presence defensively. He is 7'3", so he can kind of just stick his arms in the air and that'll be enough to mess up another player's shot. Porzingis is averaging 20 and 8 on 47% and 35% from 3. He can help stretch the floor at the big man position, something the Warriors need this season. Kristaps alongside Draymond and Steph can be big for the Warriors, allowing them to run an offense that has lots of spacing that they can take advantage of. The next player, or should I say players, the Warriors can try to acquire are Nikola Vucevic and Aaron Gordon. The Magic will receive Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, and the top 3 protected Timberwolves pick. If you've noticed a trend by now, Wiggins has been in all these trades so far. The main reason being his contract matches well with the players the Warriors will receive. The Magic have a 13-23 record at the All-Star break, the second worst record in the weak Eastern Conference. Nick Vucevic is an All-Star this year and is wasting his talent on a team that can barely make the playoffs, let alone be in the conversation for the playoffs. He can be a dominant scorer in the post, averaging about 24 points a night, and shoots a career-high 41% from 3 on 6.5 attempts. The Warriors get an actual post player, something they've never had the past decade or longer. They also receive Aaron Gordon, a versatile power forward who is still trying to figure it all out. This is Gordon's 7th year in the league, and he has never really found a role on the Magic, especially with all the injuries he has had and the emergence of Jonathan Isaac. He's been injured with an ankle sprain that has kept him out for the past month, but is expected to return to the court soon. Gordon is averaging about 14 points, 7 rebounds, and a career-high 4 assists. He's slowly becoming a better playmaker for the Magic, and I think his passing at the forward position can help the Warriors. Gordon is also shooting 37% from 3, but he's always seemed to start the season hot from 3 and then cool off as the year goes on. Hopefully, he can keep up this efficiency so he'll be able to space the floor and give more room for Vucevic to work on the block. For the Magic, they get Wiggins, which I've talked about already, and Kelly Oubre. Oubre has picked up his play lately after his atrocious shooting at the beginning of the season. In February, Oubre averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 43% from 3 on 5.7 attempts. He's been great defensively, 7th in individual defensive rating for his position. The Magic get 2 great two-way wings that can shoot and slash, and that Timberwolves pick. This trade will put the Magic in rebuild mode, and the pick can help the Magic get a top prospect in this year's draft. If the Magic want more, they can get another future first from the Warriors, or a young player like Pascal or Poole. These were some bigger blockbuster trades that send a star player to the Warriors, but there are also some moves the Warriors can make that make them a deeper team, showcasing the strength in numbers phrase or slogan. Or what used to be their phrase, because now it's joy in buckets, which is definitely not as cool as strength in numbers.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
The first move I had in mind is a trade for Wayne Ellington. He's a sharpshooter for the Pistons, averaging about 11 points on 43% shooting from 3. The Warriors need a more reliable shooter off the bench because Bazemore and Damian Lee are inconsistent. There will be an abundance of players on the wings, so maybe try moving Poole as a backup point because he's a great young player and should get more minutes, and having Lee, Bazemore, and Ellington share backup minutes at the 2 and 3 can solve the problem. Ellington isn't good at anything else, not a good defender, below average playmaker, and not a great rebounder either. The Pistons get Michael Mulder, who was selected to the Rising Stars game this year for Team World. Mulder is also a sniper from 3, but has been getting inconsistent minutes off the bench for the Warriors and can play a larger role on the Pistons. The Pistons also received the second-round pick from the Timberwolves, which will be very early in the second round. The next move the Warriors can do is bring up Jeremy Lin from the G League bubble. Lin grew up in the Bay Area and even played for the Warriors in his rookie season. In the G League, Lin is averaging 20 points, 6 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 43% from 3 on 5 attempts. Jeremy can be the leader and main facilitator off the bench for the Warriors, something the Warriors desperately need this season. The Warriors have little experience coming off the bench, Kent Bazemore the only reserve who has played more than 3 seasons in the NBA. Jeremy has 9 years of NBA experience under his belt and can be a veteran's presence in the locker room too. Brad Wanamaker has not been impressive at all this season, and Lin can bring scoring and playmaking to the second unit. Honestly, we can just cut Wanamaker and sign Lin to the minimum to make it work out. Originally, I had a segment here where I would talk about Blake Griffin, but he signed with the Nets, so instead I will talk about LaMarcus Aldridge. On March 10th, coach Greg Popovich of the Spurs announced that Aldridge and the Spurs mutually agreed for him to work on some opportunities elsewhere. Since the deadline is approaching soon, Aldridge's value won't be nearly as high as it should be, and maybe the Warriors can take a shot at the 7-time All-Star. The difficult part about this trade is the contract situation. Aldridge is making $24 million this year, and the Warriors have no trade exceptions greater than $2 million, and no players making the same amount of money with similar value to Aldridge. With that being said, it's difficult for the Warriors to make a move for a player with an expiring deal like Aldridge when they can't offer a player with similar value. The only way the Warriors can acquire LaMarcus Aldridge is to do a 3-team trade. I had a difficult time trying to balance the value to the different teams, so let me know what you would change about this trade down below in the comments. The Warriors received LaMarcus Aldridge from the Spurs and PJ Tucker from the Rockets. PJ Tucker has been frustrated with the Rockets, and trading him will allow the Rockets to get something for him instead of him walking in free agency. The Spurs will receive Victor Oladipo from the Rockets. VO declined a contract extension with the Rockets and wants more money in free agency, where he probably won't get that money. Instead, he is shipped off to the Spurs, a team that can use Oladipo's talent. The Rockets receive Andrew Wiggins from the Warriors and a second-round pick from the Spurs. Wiggins is a little younger than Oladipo and on a longer contract, so the Rockets won't have to worry about extending him, something they have trouble with. The second-round pick is to balance the value the Spurs are giving up and receiving, so the trade is more fair to the Rockets. So the Warriors get 2 win-now players on expiring deals, the Spurs get a player who can help them win games, and the Rockets get something for 2 players who are unlikely to return at the end of the season. I think this trade makes sense for all 3 teams, but you let me know what you think about it. There are a lot of players I think the Warriors can try to pursue, like, hopefully I get this right, Nemanja Bjelica from the Kings, Trevor Ariza, and George Hill, but I don't know how to make the contracts match. The Warriors are a difficult team to make trades at this year's deadline because they have 4 players on max deals, Oubre making $14 million, and the rest on minimum or rookie deals. This makes it hard to match contracts with other teams, especially role players who are on expiring deals but can be good contributors to the Warriors this season. So with all that being said, what do you think of my trades and signings the Warriors can do this season to make them contenders? Do you agree or disagree with some of the things I said? What would you do if you were the Warriors? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, it helps the channel out a lot, and subscribe so I know you want more consistent NBA content like this in the future. Check out my Instagram at nba.pickup for updates on the channel too. A video is popping up on your screen, so go check it out. Thank you for watching and have a great day.